Well, we're all are here. Thank you. We will get started. We have the agenda in front of us. I'll let everyone know that the meeting is being streamed live and recorded for public viewing on the town's YouTube page. Couple things. Well, I guess I could do adoption of committee minutes. I have a motion here moved by Charlene, seconded by Jessica. That minutes be adopted by the Plympton-Wyoming Special Events Committee. Those confidential minutes of the closed session of the committee remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with the exemptions provided in the Municipal Freedom of Information Protection Privacy Act. Those minutes refer to the July 8th, 2024 minutes. I'm sure that we've all read them. And when Nicole sent them out, does anyone have any changes, additions, corrections? Being none, I'll get a all approved or all in favor. Thank you. It's been a while since we've been here. Couple things I would just like to add to the agenda if I can. Under 9 new business, 9.1 storage, 9.2 TV screen ownership. Everyone okay with that? On. We're on to 5 accounts. I have a motion here by Brenda, seconded by Melissa, that Special Events Committee receivables and approves the payables for July 2024. In our package, there is the payables. I can get to them. Read them out. We have $62.15 to Alex for the Safety Day advertising. Myself for $32.31 for some tent repairs. Myself for $345.90 for signage for the Safety Day event. Washroom and the hand wash rentals. Plympton sanitation for $977.45. The grocery store stuffers for $122.04. Flyers for the event $66.10. Because of the Canada Day, we had to refund one of the food vendors. That was $100. The rest of the food vendors decided to leave in their money for us. Canada Day ad was 26 and a bike safety ad was 226. So total payable is $1957.95. And we had a tip jar of $30 at the event and a donation from DDCon sponsorship of $1,000. All in favor of approving those particular payables? Carried, thank you. While we are talking, Nicole, about financials, can I get you to bring up that one PDF I sent you regarding the spreadsheet? Apologize for not having copies on this, but Alex's daughter's getting married on Saturday, so it's a little busy at work today. So this is the spreadsheet brought up to date where we are at right now. This account for that amount takes into last remaining sponsor to pay. So anyway, as of the end of this event, we still have $12,017.15 to spend. Majority of that came from the not having to pay out the Canada Day expenses.
Nicole, do you mind zooming in a bit, please? Thank you.
Sure. Let me do it a different way.
Thank you.
Well, that give or take is very close to what we have left in our budget for this year.
And how much was our grant for from the community foundation?
2,000, and that's in.
Yeah, so that has to go.
That's in well. But we do have some dollars left to spend. Does anyone have any quick questions about that amount right now?
Does that include estimates for Canada or for Christmas in a village?
Not yet, no. No, I'm just starting to get some of that stuff together.
That, like the grant from Last Canada Day, did that come whether we owed any money?
The amount that we may have to get back that.
Yeah.
Talking about?
Yeah. That hasn't, nothing's come with that either.
Federal, well, you.
Yeah, I know.
Need to see federal government to come next year for all we know.
Maybe never at all.
Hope never. Okay, so I'm going to move on from that, I guess, if there's nothing else. Thank you, Nicole. Natalie Neville, I touched base with her after the event. She was going to join us tonight, but she is currently not available to attend because of a conflict. So she sent along her notes. For the bike safety portion, there was 87 children that went through the safety course. Lots of people suggested it being moved back to June. She knew of others that wanted to come but were away. There were lots of. Sorry, I just got this tonight, so I'm just reading it. So there's lots of people commented that they missed it but wanted to come. There were lots of events going on throughout Plympton County that day, which is true. The Ride Smart program organizers felt that it was an amazing turnout as they have had much larger events and less participants. The flow of the park worked much better at the fairgrounds. And when it was held at the park, you had to create circles, which created large gaps in sections. So this event layout, because everything was in a basically straight line, worked much better for instructions as well as the participants. That's really all on that particular one there. Anyone else have anything on the Ride Smart point of view? Yeah, Ben?
I think it went well. I agree that like we had intended to kind of put it over in the other area, and moving it to the center area was a little awkward because you had to go around it to get to it. A lot of people were coming in from the parking area, so they were kind of walking around it to get around. And I think that probably that was some confusion of like people walking the course and that kind of stuff. But overall, a lot of people really enjoyed it. I heard from a couple people who won the free bikes out of it, and of course they were very happy.
Okay.
So
Else have anything on safety?
what did everyone think of Dragon's Breath? Did it? Yeah, I thought they were okay. I agree with Brenda. I think if we're going to use that float stage again, we should look at decorating it a bit more. It was a little.
Public Works-ish.
Yes, it was a little public works-ish. And maybe the next time we use it, we should look at the length so that we can kind of pre-order some stuff to glitz it up a little bit more and stuff that's maybe reusable. So that it looks more stage-like.
Fair comment. I had managed to get around to the majority of the safety vendors themselves and actually. They were thrilled to have that type of event here because usually to get into an event to talk to the public. That is more so than just giving out their swag. They'd have to go to the Golden Horseshoe area, so they're quite happy to have that type of event here. The people, one of the things that they all commented on was the suggestion of the passport, making the people go and visit. And some of the kids would come up and say, I want my passport, and some of them would say, well, I want my passport, but what do you do here? So they actually, some of the vendors felt that they were able to get their message across more so than what you would get, let's say, at the Farm Safety Show. So in that respect, they thought it was a definite win, and most of them that I was able to talk to hope we have it again. It was an interesting night, Friday night, because we had 13 safety vendors that were coming. And we ended up 6, so I was rather busy on the phone, just taking the cancellations from the people. But we would have had 13 that were scheduled to come, so.
I think though next year, so if we were to look at combining the bike safety in with the picnic, if we want to move it to June. Then I think we would have to look at some other draw for safety day, either that or combine safety day with the Optimists in Kamalaki. And do their bike safety and safety day at the same time there, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea.
So one observation I've made about summertime and the attendance, like it was a good event. You guys did a great job putting it on. But it wasn't well attended as some of our other springtime events. July and August are exceptionally busy throughout Lambton County. We have a lot going on in general in this province. You have also a lot of families who are on vacation, so they're not going to be even here. They're going to be going to bigger events in bigger towns or way up north or whatever. We saw that trying to get firefighters to join us for the water ball. People were on vacation. Is it maybe then best that when we start considering your schedule for next year in the fall towards start of next year, we avoid July and August? Give you guys summer vacation and don't compete with the larger events that tend to happen in July and August, and do your events in May and June and your Easter egg in winter as well, but concentrate your summer events in late May and through June and September through early October. That way you're not competing with the copious amount of things to do in the summer.
I agree with you, Adam, on that one. Unfortunately, the day we had it was also Mackinac, right? So it's just one of those things. So, but yeah, definitely we'll take that into consideration. This year was a tough year because of the 150th as well, right? Trying to not step on their toes. It was, yeah, but yeah, we'll take all that into consideration when we get discussing for sure. All in all, I was okay with, I guess, for our first kick at the can with safety day. Yeah, the attendance was low. Food vendors, they were okay with it. I don't think they were disgruntled. They were okay with it. So all in all, it was a not bad event. Not our typical event, I will say, but a not bad event.
I feel like most people came just for the bike rodeo.
True.
I feel like if we didn't have the bike rodeo, it would have been a flop.
So whether we could take that if the bike rodeo decides not to go with us next year, if we want to bring in the safety day, you know, as maybe not standalone, incorporate it into something else, we can look at that too. So.
Partnering with the Optimists to on their bike rodeo, maybe end up moving safety day to Arnold Mini Lake Park in partnership with the Optimists. And that's, since we're talking locations and stuff like that, that's one thing we should probably look at next year, is to work a little bit closer with the CAA, because generally Saturdays they just have practice up until lunchtime. They don't have anything Saturday afternoons, and generally they don't start practice again until Sunday evening. So there's a chunk of time there. So it'd have to be something later in the day than what you would typically host. But there's a chunk of time where that park is available. he wouldn't be obviously setting up rides and stuff in the middle of that, but there's an opportunity to host something during the good season, even though the baseball's going on there, as long as we're in afternoon and out by the following morning.
Right. No, that's good to know. Anything else for safety day? No, okay, so we had chatted briefly about having a Halloween event out in Kamlaki, just because Easter was, very successful. We had done Easter event here once in Wyoming, the first year we were going at it, and wasn't greatest attended, but I think, some of the young ones that were there were quite happy to have it pre-Halloween, so what's your thoughts on thinking about having a Halloween event out there in Kamlaki?
I've already spoken to Bruce Moulton. He is going to be the past president of the Optimist. And he was informing me that last year Arrow Village School had a Halloween party sort out there. I have reserved the hall for October the 26th, I believe. So I will get in touch with the school once they get started and find out what their plans are and see if we can coordinate something with them, etc.
Okay. So we want to at least kind of look at what's available and what options we can do and stuff like,
Yes.
okay,
Yes, the hall's already booked, so we're good as far as that goes.
okay. And,
I have spoken to the new president too, and they start their meetings in September. But he sent a straw vote around their members, and they're all in favor of helping out.
okay, so that was my next question. So they'd help out in the same respect they did at Easter then.
Yes,
All right, well, we can put our thinking caps on and see what we can put together for that event, I think, maybe. Anything else on that before I move on? Okay, Christmas in the Village, the date is December 14th. Same times as of right now, Claire Jardine, do you know, Gary, is he still going?
I
They
don't,
left 3 messages and I haven't heard back yet.
I'm not sure,
Gonna check with Todd.
honestly, yeah. I could also check with Constable Vet, who has practiced with him regularly.
Oh, okay.
Would you do that?
I also, since we need 2 wagons, I also booked in Hume as well, the same ones that we had last year. So they are booked in for that event. Councillor Vasey had reached out to me saying that the Victorian choir was available. I had to put in a request for them, which I put a request in to have music up at the tree as well as back at the venue at the Lions Hall there, maybe doing a little bit more singing than traditionally. That was sent to him, and then a couple days later, it was sent back that they're no longer available.
No.
Oh, so, Mike,
I'm working on a couple of possibilities.
is one of them the Sweet Adelines then?
They're not in that group anymore, but there's
Oh,
a
okay.
quartet that
Okay.
may be available. And being we're later in the year, Plympton Youth Choir might be available because Star Parade ends a week before.
Okay,
But I'll check into that too.
perfect, okay. I'll be all right then.
Just, are you going to do the house decorating again? Because there is, when you mentioned about the horse wagon, the people that got the 3rd prize, I know exactly where they are. They live, because I took them there. I told them they get the first ride. They're pretty excited about that, so we'll have to remember to fire them up about that.
For sure, yep, no, we intend on definitely doing that. The person who won it last year didn't want to give me the sign back because he figured he's gonna win again this year. So But yeah, we intend on, running that again.
I don't know if there's another spot he could put a light on that property.
True, definitely true. So Christmas in the Village, we're gonna schedule a meeting with all the groups involved. Probably, I would imagine first part of October, somewhere in there, and I'd imagine I'll talk to Brian Fair, but it'd probably be at the fair, the town or at the fire hall. Again, that seemed to work well. So if any of us have stuff that we can think of to kind of get jotted down and prepared for that meeting, I think we only ever had one, and then yeah, we only ever had one, and then debates with them on emails.
You're gonna do the tractor thing again too?
I think so. I talked to Lisa at Safety Day. I think she was there. I think she was. Anyway, yes, for sure. We're doing the lighted tractor parade. She's already been in contact with quite a few, and it's going to be bigger than what it was. So there was an awful lot of comments on how people love to see it. So
Maybe on the first or on all the tractors, when they drive by, we can have a sign saying, you know, remember to vote for number whatever, remember to vote for number whatever. Just because I feel like a lot of people missed out on the voting. 'Cause
Voting.
It's hard to find. So.
definitely. So we will get planning underway for that. There's some things that, even though I wasn't there last year for it, there were some things that we learned for it, so we will definitely take that into consideration. As our committee learned and public comments, all that into consideration. There has been another go around online about somebody out there requesting vendor space for our event and saying that they were asked an amount of money already again. I
Just bots
Cameras,
and
I guess.
senders.
It's like,
Yeah, so there's a post in the group that says straight up. It's a scam. We've done everything we can.
all I said is, you know, we haven't got together to talk whether we are going to have vendors or not, and if we are, we would let them know. So. And if we do have vendors, it definitely won't be where it was, because that did not work, so. But I just let the people know that we will get back to them when we know, but, you know, just to reiterate that we're not asking for money at this point, so hopefully no one got out.
We'd be discussing this sooner than October. I feel like if we do decide to have vendors or. I think people are booking up. I mean, there's Christmas stuff all over Facebook now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's getting into September coming up is rough as well.
It's at the thought of Christmas and it's in August still.
That's true. September's pretty much a write-off to get the people we need together because of the fairs and stuff. So if we can't do it at the end of August, then it would be probably the first part of October, so.
I think though we could have a similar, like, I think last year we tried to get some more bespoke vendors, and I don't know if we really ever found a good mix. I think it was Courtney that was working on that.
Yeah.
How far she got on that?
The Lionesses are gonna have theirs again. Why are we
Yeah.
duplicating
Or
it?
they usually have it that day.
Like, I feel like there's so many vendor sales all throughout. Why?
Honestly, vendor sales at night is just, in that situation, is just challenging. People are there for everything else.
Right.
Maybe something just to leave off your plate.
Jessica's right too. I think we can just help the Lioness with promotion. So
I agree 100%, Jessica, and
Especially like, cause it was the same day. So I mean,
Yeah.
I would prefer not to have them at all, like, that we had set up last year, because it took up real estate that we desperately needed. You know, so I would prefer to leave it off, but that's gotta be thrown out to the rest of the committee, I guess, really, but that's my thought, so.
I'm good to just support Lionesses, especially if they're doing it the same day.
For sure.
Do we know what day they're doing?
I personally don't.
We may want to reach out to them and at least let them know that we like even if that we at least have the date for Christmas in the village so that everyone's kind of on the same page if they intend to do their craft sale on the same day.
Want to pass a motion to, on the day for you've already passed a motion for the day you're hosting the event?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't really need a motion for the operational side, so as long as you all nod your heads, yes, let's skip vendors this year, that would be adequate.
Okay, so moving on then, still Christmas related, we do have some money left over. We do have some money that the community foundation also gave us, for, the request was for Christmas decorations. So there's 3 different items that I sent around to the group quite a while ago. I sent them to you, Nicole, to throw up on here.
What would you like me to pull up first? You want the pictures or do you want the singing light bulb?
You like the singing light
I do
bulbs,
like the
let's
singing light bulbs.
throw up the singing light bulbs.
Well, the singing light bulbs, you can program whatever you want them to do.
Yeah, so I've been following this particular hobby, if you want to call it, for the last couple of years. It is made by a company called X Lights, which is free. That sound. The whole thinking behind one of the two of these things was to create a show. And we can change this show all the time. And not terribly hard to do. And nobody else in the area at all has ever done anything like this. So it could be a draw.
Touch those?
So what they are is they're roughly 4 feet high. Each bulb is 4 feet high by 2 feet wide. There is 1,056 light. And they are all tied into a controller and an SD card, and you program it all through this X Lights, download it, the software to the controller, press play, and it does its thing. And so it's quite amazing. Like you can run any song through it. The software looks at what mouth expressions is required to make those lights. So you can program any kind of show that you want. So that is one option, if interested. I've already got the things printed out at home because I probably will eventually be doing one anyway for myself, just because they're quite unique. That is one option anyway to do. Price wise is definitely going to be covered by the $2,000 for the grant that we got. Interestingly enough, though, if you were to go buy them, they're about $700 a piece. So what I had come up with was 4 of them, which is $2,800, but this one we can do 4 of them for well under $2,000. And we can change it every year. So you can make a 10-minute show, 5-minute show, half an hour show, right? So it could be a draw. Can you pull up the mega tree? This is another concept. They're called RGB pixel light mega trees. Again, same kind of thing. Nobody else has done this around anywhere. This one is made up of 3070 lights. So the resolution is phenomenal on these trees. Basically, I would get the pieces and make it. So.
How big is it?
The one I'm looking at is either 16 or 20 feet, but it's uncollapsible, right? So it's like the, what do you call it? Like a winch? Yeah, so to go up and down, then you just pull things off the top and store it away in a container. Basically.
So it's just kind of like strings of light.
Yeah, 360 degrees all the way around. So the base is about 8.5 feet wide, and it goes up 16 or 20 feet tall, whichever. And there's all these strands of RGB pixel lights that go up. Did you have the one that I sent you with the swirling, or did I only send you the one?
Just the one.
Oh, okay. Again, you can program it with whatever music. So the one that was on there was Let It Snow, or Let It Go, sorry, Let It Go from
Frozen.
Disney. And on there you can, because of the resolution of the pixels and all that, you can actually have a little bit of animation show up on the tree. Absolutely phenomenal what you can do with that particular tree. It would, I haven't got my final figures in because I'm gonna get the one guy that I know and starting to construct the winch for me. Far cheaper for him to do it than buying it. It would probably be about 3,000 to 3,500 maybe, somewhere in that ballpark. Again, you can create a show as long as you want and change it as often as you want. And it collapses down into a quite a small thing.
Are we hoping to be able to leave these decorations up
For sure, I think.
like
Yeah.
for the season or, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
You want the other pictures up?
So this other one here is the one I talked to the group about as well, in terms of decorations. Now, a lot of research to get to this point with these guys. Company out of Toronto will sell these to municipalities. Or if you look at the candy cane, about $12,000. I know the manufacturer of that, and I can get it here for about $780 a piece. It's all manufactured by the one company in China, so it's all with all the Canadian paperwork for hydro, for fire retardants, for the safety inspections and all that, so. There's that option. And then the other option that probably would be my number one choice. At the bottom is a walk-through ornament. That particular ornament in Toronto is $31,000. But that ornament from the manufacturer is $3,200. It is just under 10 feet tall. It has, I forget how many thousands of lights on it, but the whole reasoning behind that one, I don't really like having Santa Claus sit out in the open in his chair. To me, that's not right. He should either be in a gingerbread house, he should be in some kind of workshop setting, or this one would be an ornament. Where he would sit inside the ornament, the lights would twinkle, people would walk through and sit on his lap and carry on.
Far across is it?
So the big one is about 10 feet round, and then
Okay.
the ones on each side are about 3.5 feet, 4 feet, somewhere there.
Yeah, but you'd have space for like Santa to sit in there.
Oh,
and
for
then
sure.
walk.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure, without a doubt. The only thing with any of these particular ones here It's 45 days to make it. It is 60 to 75 days for sea shipping. So we would be pressing really tight to get them here for end of November. Sure,
Have them for next year.
but we could start early. And have them for next year.
Can we make a decision on some things and try to get some things for this year?
Well, of this stuff, you mean, of the
Yeah.
China stuff?
Yeah.
So with the China shipping, the way that they do it, whether it's one thing or whether it's all these things, it's the same cost to ship. So you're better off to have to create as full as you can for the same cost of shipping. So if interested, I can still get down to the nitty gritty of all the details. And then I would want to have a discussion with Adam and kind of find out all of particulars, but
Need some kind of something to form a quote out of. To approve.
Yeah.
Some kind of details on. Like detailed quote, that includes the shipping and everything. I don't know how we would go about doing that.
well, I've got all that now. The only thing I don't have, that I learned actually through through a garbage collector. Is anytime you ship anything overseas, you put insurance on sea shipping. And you overestimate sea shipping insurance. Which isn't that expensive, but I haven't got the final quote back yet for the guy. Anyway, it's very interesting to get to this stage in terms of being able to provide the town with on the same level of what another municipality is getting for a lot cheaper, really. It's exact same stuff to a T, because I know what they have and I can look in the catalog and exactly get the same thing. So of all those three things, I think what would have the most impact from my point of view this year probably would be the tree, the mega tree. But
Not Santa's.
well, if we could get it in time, that would be, if we could get it in time, the number one thing would be the ornament, without question, right?
The grant value from the foundation. It cost how much?
35.
We have enough money in our budget though to spend a little bit more on Christmas.
Right.
So if we made a decision tonight on if we're interested in anything and we try to get the quotes back for the next meeting and have Adam look at them ahead of time. And we ordered the first week of September, we may have it by Christmas.
It's possible. It's possible.
Want to do today is set a budget through motion. And then what you get for that budget kind of can be worked out as long as you can group as a whole set a budget. Because then I need to review the invoices and ensure that, that everything looks good there, because I'll have to sign off on something of that value.
So
Christmas in the village is pretty much a wash anyway, right? There's other members donate
yes,
the cost of certain things, right? Our cost last year was very minimal, right? I believe. The actual Christmas in the
yeah,
village,
it could.
if that,
Yeah. So I mean, I think if we spent under 8,000, 7,000, everyone else then. Yeah,
How much did you have left to project in that currently?
well, you'd have to take off one for
Easterns, whatever you want, Scrooge, but it might not be a bad idea to carry some over to next year, just in case your donations are not as plentiful. There's a lot of competitions on donations, so I would hate to see that your donations dry up in 1 year and then you have to cut your donations back a lot, so.
6. I like. We could probably, like, for 6,000 or close to, we could probably do the mega tree and Christmas ball.
We have storage for all this.
That was the next
That
one.
was my question, is this,
Sorry to take your questions.
Last year, we waited till like the day to set up because we were worried about vandals. Are we wanting to spend that much money if it's something they're leaving up all the time? If they can-
Larger, more solid object, it's. You would hope less likely to be vandalized. It's more visual. You would definitely want to make sure it's being kept in eye amongst the community and possibly the OPP. Worries with vandals is temporary stuff, small stuff. It's quite out of sight, out of mind, gets vandalized, bigger stuff like this. Doesn't as quickly attract it, but still can.
these just regular Christmas light bulbs? Like what happens when one of those million light bulbs go out? Is it just the regular light bulbs that you have? String lights?
They're a particular type of LED light, so I'd have to ask that question.
That'd be, I imagine we'd probably be replacing them pretty frequently.
I don't know.
LEDs
Usually the
usually
big
last.
ones they're all those integrated LEDs, they're tiny, so if one goes out, it's not a big deal, because it just keeps working. If 100 go out, then you start to get little bald spots here and there.
In terms of, let's say the mega Christmas tree, they are each strand is, so if one strand goes out, you replace a strand, right? So that's fairly easy. Getting back to the question on vandalism, I had a good discussion with Larissa Ellsworth from Petrolia about all their Christmas stuff that they have up front of the VPP and ask them kind of, have they ever had any mischief or damage or anything of the sort? And they, without giving too much details, they keep an eye on it. And they have not had any damage or vandalism or spray painting or anything as of now.
Probably just curse them.
This is recorded.
But that wasn't really a big concern of hers, but I totally agree with you, Brenda. Anything you put out, you don't want it damaged, right?
So when you have to replace a strand, do you have to ship them from China again, or there's Canadian?
The suppliers for that. The thing is, and again, my number one choice would be the ornament. We would have to have a discussion with the setup for the lions anyway, right? Because we can't really have it in the Christmas tree area anymore.
Thinking more in the building.
Oh, no. Just outside still, but you know. I
That's
personally
tempting.
think we are rapidly going to be outgrowing the Lions facility. Anyway, but that's for another day. So those are three options, I guess, that I had come up with, but like I said, that we've got some time to think about it, but sooner rather than later. But as Adam says, if we can at least maybe kind of come up with a budget, and then we can have a discussion, subcommittee meeting level, and just everyone brings something to the table. These are just a couple of things that I have stumbled on. So
I guess my question is, do we have storage? And I guess the answer is no.
The storage. Public Works doesn't really have a lot of available storage, so it would come down to.
I don't think anyone's garage is gonna fit that bulb.
But now we put off buying the shipping container because we didn't have the money, and because Canada Day is canceled, we have the money to spend on storage. If we wanted to.
I do have a 9.1 in storage.
Jessica's doing.
I love it when Peter does that.
And now we're going into.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that's on the new business. We can skip that.
Oh, that's neat.
What?
Is there a light show that goes with it?
Does anybody have any thoughts on the options? Do we want to look at other options? Do we want to consider those more?
Before we did, yeah. On the Christmas, you want to talk about your storage and see how much that may cost us and see how much we're left.
Nice.
Like the idea of those two items,
Which two, something?
the ornament and the tree.
I think the candy canes are more problematic because you'd either have to have them close to the building. Because that's where the power is, or if you try to move them further away, we don't really have power far away.
Lions.
Yeah, like the Christmas tree, we could set fairly close to the building and have power there. The bulb, we could kind of work around. I think the candy canes, I feel like you would need like 3 or 4 of them to make an impact.
Right.
Whereas the other 2, it's kind of one and done.
Also have to remember too, the Lions have some more, some little stuff out front there now. Area that we used before for traffic in and out. So we have to work around that as well.
Plus, I would, if that's the route you'd want to go, I would want to have a discussion, with Lions anyway, if they can get in touch with Santa in terms of when they're comfortable. You know. I guess wanting to do that, or would they prefer to keep stuff the same? You know. It's great that we have ideas and are, you know, gung ho on it, but I want to make sure that it's a village effort. I guess.
I think my biggest concern is if we keep waiting on this. Last year, we said we were going to get on top of it this year, and as long as we had the budget to buy some bigger Christmas stuff. And now we're in August and we kind of have a chance to do it, but if we don't do it soon, we're gonna probably be in the same spot next year.
I just think we gotta figure storage out.
Well, do we want to jump down to storage and go back to
Probably.
Christmas?
Oh, yeah, you want to do that right now then? And this is only a temporary solution. But I don't know the plans for Reese's Corners. But is there an option? Is there an option of just putting stuff in the Life and Suite building?
Unfortunately, no.
That was-
Plans will be made more official in the near months.
Okay, that was where I was going with that one then. Okay. But we do have the C-CAN option still available.
What was the price on that? Was it?
25, 22, 25, somewhere there. I'd have to check with the guy again, but I think it was no more than 25. You know.
I feel
So,
like if we have to spend 22,000 on storage. Plus another 6,000 for Christmas decorations, we probably are spending too much. That's. Close to 9,000 probably by the time we're done. So I think we either need to. Like, if we did the light bulbs and the mega tree, as much as we want the giant Christmas bulb, they would probably store easier. But either way, I think we'd still, but the light bulbs are gonna be under 2,000. Or around 2,000. So we could do the light bulbs and one other thing with the storage and get to a better number. The mega tree is nice, but it is pricey.
not if you were to go buy them.
Yes.
$46,000 for that tree if you were to go buy it.
Yes.
Like I said, it can be made for about 3,500. But my thought is of all that stuff, I think we really should only get one of whatever. And then if we have to get storage and then have a little bit of carryover.
Okay.
For next year.
Does anybody have an opinion on if we could pick one out of them, what they would get?
The light bulbs with the music, do we have to pay for the licensing?
The licensing would come with it, yeah.
Comes with it.
With it, yeah. Like you buy a song that's already done. That has the animation, everything to it, and the licensing is built into that cost, and they're like $70. For the show, they call it.
And if you go to change it, Brad, you've got to, when you buy the new program, that's already in the next one as well.
The licensing is for every song that you have, right? But you only buy it once forever, right? So if you use that same song again next year, you don't have to pay for licensing again.
We forget, it's
True. Because they're both run out of the same X Lights program, if you get one year and you get one the next year, like they can be linked together so that they
Share the music.
so they can share the music and they work in unison and like you can build a show is what it's called. You can build a show with it. Again, those are just my thoughts.
The singing one,
The light bulbs,
yeah, singing like
each light bulb is 4x2 and they wouldn't be that thick.
10 mil core plus, so 10
Yeah.
millimeters, half inch.
2x4.
And then 4 light bulbs. So 8 feet wide by 4 feet tall, give or take.
With the singing light bulbs or the tree, that's a kit that someone would have to put together though.
And
Program it.
program, but could this be hung on the wall?
Yes, I think you would have to.
Okay, then your chances of vandalism go down a bit, if you're hanging on the wall.
Yep.
I like the idea of having like background music going, so.
For not to pay for one song, then. Cause after a couple hours of it.
For $2,000, we can probably afford a couple songs. Do we want to do like a rough show of hands of what?
What if you can't program it? Like, you're.
You
saying-
buy shows that are done basically, and then. I'll get in, someone else has done the work.
Well, just you said like you have to program it, you have to build it like that.
Yeah, if you want to start from scratch with one of your own songs, but if you want to write predefined songs, but there's 3,400 right now.
Right.
You basically buy a song and plug it in.
I mean, I think it's cute and I think the little background music is fun. I don't know that I would stand around and watch it as a show. Personally. Like if it plays even one, like, I don't know how long are the songs aren't that long.
Well, yeah, they're about 3 or 4 minutes a song, right? So if you string 6 or 7 together, right, there's 20 minutes, and that's probably long enough to keep people's attention.
Small
again-
kids would be less than that.
Probably, yeah.
70 a piece, though, and you're getting like 6 songs.
Yeah.
You're increasing the price again, it's just mind.
Keep repeating.
You can set it up so it repeats, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think it'd be more of like just something in the background. I don't think it'd be like come at 4 o'clock for the show. I think it'd be more of a
Decoration.
Yeah.
Decoration.
Attractions.
Yeah.
It'd be a cool decoration, but it'd still be a decoration.
So there's that option, and the other option was, and I haven't really got too far into it, but I don't know whether any of us remembers when we were younger, heading into London to, was it the Eatons or Simpsons, and you watch the animated displays in the wall in this Christmas store, right? So I don't know, uptown, Charlie's got the old Slick building that he owns, whether he is still going to have that vacant at Christmas time, but you could set that up as a nightly.
Thing on the windows.
Inside, everything's inside, right, as a show, different type of show altogether. It's a 3D hologram screen. Yeah, it's rather unique, but any of these things, I haven't got too far with that one, but that could be done, but I really haven't gone that direction, I guess, right now. All these are shows that could really draw people into something unique, if we do it right.
What about our Christmas lights in the window? Or would you rather have it at the event?
You could also do both. You could potentially put the bulbs in there if Charlie's okay with it for the weeks before and the weeks after the event. It would keep them safe and people could enjoy them still.
So I haven't even gotten that information yet.
Have you spoke to Charlie? or
Yes.
just a
This
dream?
is just a thought that could happen. Haven't even got there yet. That's why I wasn't gonna say much about that one, but
Don't say my secret.
yeah.
Is a $2,000 grant specifically for decorations or just for the event?
I think it's specifically for decoration.
Christmas decorations.
And what if the price is, yeah, like the previous said,
Well, the last time about 2 weeks ago when I got into it and was looking, it was about $3,500. Give or take, but I mean, it was pretty close to that area.
That's always part of the problem with, too much storage.
But
So it comes down, we do not take up that much storage space.
What's the frame constructed out of?
Tubular aluminum. That all kind of fits together. So it basically would come apart and, take up not a lot of space, and everything else would fit in like a tote.
The mega tree would be nice, but I wonder if it would upstage the tree beside the library. If that matters.
Light it until after you light the tree at the library. And you have a Christmas tree where you're actually hosting an event, and you have a Christmas tree where you're gathering to light the tree.
Yes.
Just make sure someone runs ahead and turns it on before people come around the corner.
So I guess of all the things that I've presented, number one is the ornament, but I just have a concern about getting it here in time. And number two would be the mega tree. That would, and then three would be the light bulbs. That would be my order. But
I think the nice thing about the mega tree and the light bulbs versus the ornament is the ornament's nice, but it's really nice for Christmas in the village. The mega tree and the light bulbs could be around the whole season. I feel like the ornament
get
is,
more bang for your buck.
yeah, the ornament can sit out for the whole season, but I think people are more likely to stop by for a walk and look at the tree on the animation or the light bulb sitting versus the giant Christmas ball.
You'd obviously have to talk to the Lions to see if they want to power that tree for the season.
It's all 5 volt. So
It's LED. It's not like it was the Christmas trees that spun your dial when we were kids.
so I think, Adam, what would be the best thing is just to get a budget and then kind of work within that means then right now.
Get a budget approved tonight and then get me a that I can review. Approve. It's not the budget approved.
I think that's fair.
There's something that you like more than others, then, Brenda? Did you like the Christmas bulbs better, or did you?
No, I prefer the tree,
The tree?
I think.
Yeah, can we go around the room and just honest opinion? Good, bad, and different. What,
Oh, I've said a lot already.
Okay.
But no, I like the tree. I think the tree is better than the light bulbs. I like the light bulbs, but I think the tree will have more of an impact.
Yeah, I don't mind the tree, but I just harp on storage. My biggest fear is we don't take care of storage now, and then next year we want to buy something else, and we're in this conversation again. At some point, we're gonna have to pull the trigger on storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether this tree can fit, I don't even know where we're storing things. I thought we didn't have room for current stuff.
The people's houses.
Yeah, so if we don't address storage, we're gonna be doing this again next year, no matter what. So I think we have to figure that out too. Even if we buy the tree, but
so do you want me to get an updated price for storage just
If you
so
can, yeah.
in the mix? Okay.
You got a budget for storage, yeah?
Well, I think it was supposed to be about 2,200 if we get a C can, 22 to 25 for a C can. We might looked at rental options, but the C can was gonna pay for the rental within a year and a bit, and at least then if anything happens, the town can then use the C can for whatever they want to use it for. This rental storage is more of a sunk cost.
Can I jump in just for a second? In terms of Mike, when you phoned about storage, is it a month by month? Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year contract or? How
It's
is
a
it?
bit of a discount if you go for a year at a time,
Okay.
but like 10% maybe.
Oh, so not enough. Okay.
They'll pay for it in a year the other way.
So the town rents them, do they go month by month? Or do they use a year? So what if, worst case scenario, if we don't get the C can right now, but we get like, say, 3 months worth of storage or 6 months worth of storage, just to.
Tide
If,
us over,
tie us over,
it's an option.
and you know what, was it monthly?
Longer to use that.
Feel like you're just throwing money away at that point. Other,
Yeah.
you, like, if you need storage in 6 months, we're still gonna need storage, and now you've just spent
Yeah.
that money. for no reason whatsoever. You could have put it towards the storage. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I have a unit over there, 10 by 20. It's 170 a month. I pay monthly.
It was just a thought, but yeah, you are throwing it away at the end of the day.
I like the tree idea, especially when they're gonna be selling trees right there too for part of the time.
I buy the tree. Go for the tree.
I mean, we have to use that money for decorations regardless, so if the tree is the easiest thing to store, I like.
I like the idea of the tree out of the 4. So, you had to pick out of the 4, it'd probably be that as well.
Yeah, the tree.
Like I said, I'm open to any other suggestions for anything as well. These are just some things that I come up with.
I think maybe for next steps, then why don't we touch base with the Lions, see if they would be open to us using the tree?
Yep.
If they're fine with lighting it for the season. Move an updated quote once you can. And then we can all kind of take a look over the next couple weeks and see if we can find anything else.
Yep.
But my hope would be that when we come back to the September meeting, which I hope is early September, although maybe the date's not aligned right.
That's a night, so long weekends, the first Monday.
Because if we ordered by the 9th, we could potentially still get it for Christmas. So I think realistically, if we want something here this year, then we should be ready to make a decision on it before the 9th.
What does the Lions have for storage?
Good.
Cause if we're,
I think it's a shed.
he's gonna stay there all season long, maybe while you're having a discussion in regards to hydro, if the committee's buying it for Christmas in the village. Christmas in the village is hosted at the Lions property, it stays with the Lions Hall, knowing that it's a town piece of equipment, but until at least you figure out your permanent storage situation, see if they can accommodate it, and until then.
So in the meantime, should we put together a whole budget so that we can move forward on this?
So I think you estimated it was gonna be 35. Do we want to motion for 4,000 just in case there's a little over?
Are we motioning for just that or the Christmas in the Village? That incorporates
Just that.
I think just that.
Just that?
Yeah,
That thing.
I don't think we have any other.
You're matching the foundation's price, which is a good habit to do.
Doing 2.
So yeah, why don't we say 4,500 and that gives us a little bit of buffer there.
And then we can discuss, there, okay. So I motion that we spend $4,500 towards larger Christmas decorations for Christmas in the village using the grant and the funds that we have available.
Seconder. Okay. All in favor? Carried. Okay, I'll get more on that and get information to everybody. And Mike, regarding Christmas in the Village, you're gonna track down your idea for choir or whatever. And we're gonna do the lighting competition again, right? And you're going to check with Jardines.
Yes. If he's still available, Brad. Still available.
Who is our contact for the Lioness?
Is it Beth?
Yeah. You speak with people last time, or was it?
I think we had a brief in-council chambers meeting at the start of that. I believe.
I'm gonna reach out to them about their.
Yeah, just kind of touch base on the dates that we're thinking and get on the same page.
And then obviously candy for the kids, we will look into that this year and maybe bump up what we had put together for last year.
Mhm.
Anything else for Christmas in the Village at this time? Okay.
Fair board pay for one of the team.
Yeah, if they were able to get, if we were able to get Jardines, they would pay for it. Yeah, like I said, I've tried 3 times. Hope it's okay. Yeah. Yeah. I did ask Claire last year if he would keep us in mind for this year. And at that time, he said, absolutely, let me know the date. So, but I haven't talked to him or heard from him. So, many things happening here.
Do you wanna ask the lodge about the other? Like sponsoring the other team, horse and buggy,
Ask who?
Sonic.
They gave 300 last year, right? Which I think we used towards kids.
Stuff, I believe.
It's stuff, I
Oh,
believe, yeah. I know last year we didn't get Connor from the Legion, I should say the Legion was going to look at sponsoring them, but they weren't gonna have a meeting till after our event, so I can reach out to them and they can put it on their books if everyone's okay with that, if they would like to sponsor that.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts to ask now. That way before people start meeting again.
Okay. And maybe, I think I've got everyone's email address, so I can, if you want, I can send out an email to everyone that was in the group back then to ask them when they would like to get together for a meeting in case they do want to do it before 1st of October, and then maybe we'll have an entire group chat with everybody. Nothing else on that one. No reports, no correspondence, new business. I just want to then touch base on 9.2. So there is a complete manual that was written for the operation and setup of the TV screen. And we did have one committee that was going to use it. They ended up not using it. And I got a little bit of a blowback on that, but I just wanted clarified, I guess, in the minutes that the events committee does not own the TV screen and related equipment. It is the town of Wyoming that owns it, so. That's all I'm gonna say on that one right now. So, but it is a very self-explanatory system and then they just felt that we put them through too many hoops, which I had an argument with, but anyway, that's fine. So
Who did they book it through? Through the town? We could do that.
Good.
the other reason I'll just jump on was for the storage. One of the reasons why the storage, I was wondering about that is I did have a little bit of blowback as well from one of the people at the place where the equipment is stored now.
Is the equipment stored now?
The ground, so,
Street to the west.
so. Anyway, I just kind of overlooked that one for right now. That was the other reason, but I'll get current prices on storage and bring that forward. Anybody else have anything? No? Yeah, nothing else, and I have a motion here by Gord, seconded by Mike, that the special events committee be adjourned until the next committee meeting held on September 9th at 7 p.m. Favor? Very thank you.